Hey everybody, welcome to Adventures of Florida Man. This is a new name for the channel. It's just kind of to help with the branding. It's still going to be the same videos, and today we've got the kayaks loaded up. You can see we've got our little life preservers and stuff back there. Kayaks are all the way in the back, of course. But we're going to go out to Fisheating Creek and have some fun. It's been a while since I've been out to Fisheating Creek. This is kind of actually where it all started at. Just out at Fisheating Creek. It is in Palmdale, Florida. I dropped the kayaks off at the ramp and parked the truck and just kind of walking back to where the drop is, but you can see they've gotten a lot of rain out here. A lot of flooding. When I was in the general store, they said that the trails were pretty much underwater, so there weren't any hiking trails around that were open to hike. I imagine most of the park is like this, but it makes for great kayaking. Right now the temperature is 88 degrees out here. Feels like 97. So it's probably gonna be a hot day, but I don't think it's supposed to rain, so that's a plus. This is Fisheating Creek, and we just dropped the kayaks in. This is the first place that we actually ever kayaked in Florida. About a little over a year ago for my wife's birthday, we came out here and rented kayaks, and shortly after that we bought our own kayaks and been doing it ever since. And this is our first time out here on our own kayaks, actually. So it's been over a year since we've been out here. It was during dry season, so the water was way down. There were some spots that we had to walk our kayaks because it was the water was so low. But we should not have that problem today with the water being up as high as it is. There's a little bit of a current that we're paddling against right now. It's not bad. It is paddling and small boats out here. They don't allow real big boats, but like fishing boats. Definitely created some waves. I know there's enough of a current to feel like I'm not getting much of anywhere. It is a hot one though. Not much sun coverage, getting pretty much full sun. I got some shade over here against the trees though, but areas like this, I definitely watch out for the gators. They like to chill in the high water, especially in the shade. Like over there, yeah, I wouldn't go out on foot over there. Not right now, at least. I'm gonna enjoy the little bit of shade I can get though. Ooh, break from the sun. Oh, I like that. I wouldn't sit too long around here though. I'm gonna keep it moving. I gotta duck down. Low hanging branch. little sandbar right there. Check to see if there's any boat traffic. Way out that way. Not far from here though. Go check on Angie and see how she's faring through here. Try not to get sucked in. Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. This is usually not part of the creek right here, but it's so high up that I will use it to my advantage. The current's a little more calm now. It was a little strong back there, but now it's not bad. I'm gonna go through the middle. I don't want to go through that grass, but I might. There are a lot of bubbles. I am going to go this way. I'm not gonna go that way. Fisheating Creek is a recreational area in Palmdale, Florida. It's north of LaBelle, Florida, about 15 minutes north of LaBelle. They've got hiking out here. They've got the paddle boating and canoeing, small fishing boats, kind of what you've seen already on the video. Many years ago, back in like 2016, I came out here and did a primitive camp. It was a large camping failure, but when we came camping out here, me and a buddy, it was in the summer. It was in rainy season. I don't remember what month it was. I'm going through some spider webs right now. This is totally not usually a path, and I hope that I don't get any spiders on me, because I definitely have spider webs. I had a tent that was older, and I was prepared for rain, but I wasn't prepared for thunderstorms that went on all night. Like, they started right after we got camp set up at like 3 or 4 o'clock. It was just thunderstorming from like, I don't know, maybe 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and about 10:30 at night, my tent had been taken on water. My buddy's tent wasn't too bad. Mine was flooding out. I knew that if I stayed all night, I was gonna be flooded out. We called it quits and packed everything up, pretty much ripped the tent down. But after that, we had, you know, successful camping trips after that. It was a learning experience. And that's kind of a reason why I called my latest camping trip a quit as early as I did, because I just did not want to go through that whole scenario, that whole thunderstorm, getting flooded out scenario. It's just not a good time, especially if my tent was going to flood to the point I was going to be underwater in the middle of the night, which was very possible. I have not had a successful camping trip out here at Fisheating Creek. I've only tried it once. Summer camping out here is just not real enjoyable. This isn't too far from the west side of Lake Okeechobee, and they definitely get strong storms out here. That's why the water's so high out here. They've been getting a lot more storms than where we are, and this is probably about 35 minutes from where we live. Summer camping in Florida is not an easy task between rainy season and the heat. That last camp, I got overheated, and then I was able to get out of there before it started storming, thankfully. I got lucky. If I wouldn't have packed my stuff up when I did and as quick as I did, I would have been packing my things up in the thunderstorm, which is not a good time. I've actually got a camp planned coming up next weekend. It's going to be in Collier County, Florida. And this time I'm going to take a tarp. And I'm taking a portable fan. But I've camped in summer with a tarp before, and that helps stay dry. There's just so much water out here that we can pretty much kayak wherever we want. I'm gonna kayak over here though, where there's not much of a current. At least over this way, we're kind of getting some shade. This shade is good. Oh, that feels good though. You want to go down that way?
No.
I wouldn't go the way I just went. I hit a stump. It is a hot tamale out here today. I'm just trying to stay under the trees. Oh, there is a gator to the right of you, so keep going straight. He popped up and then he went back down. Well, I just saw one gator back there. It just had like his eyes sticking up, and then he went back down under. So far, that's the only one that I've seen. Let those waves cool down. I'm gonna go left. There's quite a bit of shade out here, which is nice. A lot of sunny area too, but that's what you're gonna get. But I enjoy the shade, that's for sure. Well, just kind of had a scary moment. but I was going through an area of high water and got stuck on a stump or something. And I could not go forward, I could not go backward, I could not go sideways, but I had to use my oar and just like push on the bottom. Thankfully it's not real deep right here. I was able to push on the bottom and get my way out of there. But it is interesting out here. I'm glad I got a GPS, that's for sure, because there are really no clear markings right now of where to kayak, but there are a lot of obstacles to kayak around. This is the kind of stuff that'll get you good practice at paddling. We just did like a circle. I'm getting back on the main creek. Yeah, and then now we go right and it takes us back. We're gonna start the adventure back. We've gone about 1.25 miles, 1.25 miles. But the good thing is we kind of went
is this the main?
Against the current. Yeah, this is the main like creek. Yeah. So we just get to float the rest of the way pretty much back in. It's the only thing bad about paddling out here is the motorboats. I prefer to just paddle with the kayaks and canoes, but it's okay. They created some big waves. But I am just floating. I'm really glad I didn't have to get out my boat back there. Yeah, this is fun. This doesn't require as much effort. Dipping, dodging trees and gators and fishes. Oh, there went a tree stump. Don't go the way I just went. Oh, that breeze feels good.
Yeah, it does.
Just drift on in. So yeah, the next video coming soon is the second summer rainy season camp. This camp I plan on staying the whole night. I'm gonna take a tarp, take a fan, a rechargeable fan. It's gonna be hot. Hopefully it's gonna be dry, but I'm gonna be prepared. But as I said before, the summer camping isn't real enjoyable down here. But I kind of like it as like a test. Just kind of test my outdoor skills, test my camping skills, test my readiness skills. Hopefully we don't get any hurricanes this year. But when we get hurricanes, it's pretty much surviving off-grid when we get the hurricanes for maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. The most we've gone without power was about 2 weeks. In Hurricane Ian, we went a month without internet. But thankfully I have Starlink back up now. So if our internet does go out, we'll have Starlink to keep internet going. But hopefully this is a year that we don't have to worry about that. It's always good to just kind of be ready to live off-grid and live the way nature intended it whenever hurricane season happens. It can be rough if you're not prepared. But this is July going into August. September is the peak of hurricane season. Usually around the middle of September is when we've gotten hurricanes. So hopefully we go without a hurricane this year. We have gotten a lot of rain. A lot of moisture. Been out here for a little over an hour. So it's definitely starting to heat up more. I'm floating sideways right now, just chilling. I don't know what the temperature is. My internet's not working. That current is taking me. I like it though. Yeah.
So fast coming this way. It is really pretty though.
Yeah, it's very pretty out here. A lot of trees. In fact, I'm gonna have to duck way down. Do a little bit of limbo through here. Well, we are getting back into where we launched at. Usually when the water is not as high, there's like areas you can hike and stuff. Little spots you can stop at, like Picnic Lake over here. Water's just too high. Water's everywhere. I'm sure some of the places that I was kayaking today, there's probably not usually water there. But it was a good time. We did a 1 3/4 miles today. The way back was much easier. We're not going against the current. We were just kind of riding the current. Now we're getting back into where we docked at. But I hope you all enjoyed Fisheating Creek. I'll have to come camping out here sometime, but it is not real enjoyable to camp during the winter season. It's our tourist season in the winter, so there are a lot of people that come out here in the winter. And I don't really like to camp where there's a lot of people. I like to camp more remote. I'll have to come kayaking out here again sometime when the water's down a little bit more too. Continue watching the videos. Give the video a like. Leave a comment what you thought about the paddle. Would you want to kayak in really high flood water, not knowing where the creek really is? Or is this something that you'd rather left to be an adventure of Florida man? I know when I got stuck on that tree stump, I wasn't even sure I wanted to be a Florida man today. I thought I was gonna have to get out of the kayak to get unstuck. It would have been adventure of Florida man if I would have. But instead, I can get out right here. Ooh, that water feels good. But I hope you all enjoyed. Have a good rest of the day.
Coming up shortly after these end credits is some behind the scenes footage. If you want to see it, just stick around.
That's the entrance to Fisheating Creek. Stop at that outpost and check in and get a day pass. Or whatever, if you're camping out here, get a camping pass. But I just got a day pass since I just came out here to kayak. But they've got food and drinks and souvenirs and stuff like that. But as you can see, this water is not usually up right here. And way back in the trees in there, there's water. And that brown color that we're used to seeing in the water is high iron usually. But all that is just flooded with water. But there's a lot of people out here today. I didn't park real close. I didn't really want to park in the water and walk in this water. It's not the cleanest water since it's been in the road. That water's probably not too bad, but I'm sure there's mosquitoes and stuff in it. I'll avoid that too. How you doing? These are some of the RV camping spots out here. They've got electric hookups and everything. And then on the other side behind me is where the primitive camping spots are, where they don't have electricity. They've got some like kind of gazebo areas that you can eat under. I think they have bathroom, but nothing, no power, nothing too fancy. But we're back at the truck. There's some of that beautiful inland Florida rural countryside.